Hello.
Hi there. Hi.
So we're new to this whole Lucifer thing. Now I've read all the Vertigo comics, but
Good.
So
have I.
How does this compare?
We kind of like to think about it. We've talked to DC a lot, and Neil Gaiman a little, who's a pretty big fan so far of the pilot. No, we haven't talked to him, but we've talked to Neil.
Okay.
And which is weird when you think about it, because Neil did Sandman. That's okay. He's the father. He's the godfather.
Certainly.
If you will.
Yeah.
So we like to think of it as
The biological father rather than the adoptive
it's
father.
like God and then Jesus.
Yeah.
So we like to think of it as happening kind of in between Sandman and Lucifer.
Okay.
That, Lucifer's very heavily, mythological. There's demons and portals and alternate universes and crazy dead people. There's insanity. Whereas this is very, very grounded. So we like to think of it, at the end of Sandman, Lucifer leaves hell to go to LA and open a piano bar, basically, right? So we're sticking right there in the reality, the grounded world. We're never going to go to hell. We're never going to go to heaven. And so it's all about his kind of fascination with humanity, trying to figure out if he can actually care about something other than himself. So that's what our show's about. It's really, really grounded.
Can you talk a little about the casting? How difficult was it to find your Lucifer?
We scored. That's all. Right? Tom Ellis, where is that handsome devil? A lot of shows, I'm going to be honest, a lot of shows wanted him. And we battled. And the reason why I think we won is because he really responded to the material. Who doesn't want to play the devil, right? And the fact that he's not your typical fire and brimstone. He's charming. He's conflicted. He's kind of a lost soul. That's what he is, and I think that's what he responded to. And he's just so very attractive. He's that, and he's so smart. He's really smart. He's also normal, meaning there's no ego there. So far everyone, all in the cast, is just excited to explore what it's about. We all have ideas, and normally there's a lot of ego and a lot of politics, and everyone just wants to talk about what it means, and the gray areas of it all, and have fun.
What have been the challenges of making a TV show about the devil based on comics and whatnot?
Yeah, well, when it was first announced, there were a lot of haters, I have to say. Well, just because when you're talking about comic books, people are serious. They're not messing around. And I don't blame them, because Lucifer is a gorgeous comic. It's beautiful. And it is so heavily mythological and fast. It's deep. It's a mire of just stuff. And so I think they were upset to hear they're going to make a cop show, Right. But I feel like if they watch it for what it is, I think they'll really like what it is. So I'm hoping that fans of the comic book, will dig it. And then on the other end, there's the religious aspect and the fear of offending people who are very religious. And I grew up going to church. Every Sunday. My family's very religious, and I was afraid to tell them. I was like, I'm writing on this show, Lucifer, and I haven't had a bad reaction. I'm sure there may be some who will, but most of them. Here's the thing: at the heart of Lucifer, not to sound like a soundbite, but it's about redemption. And if even the biggest bad guy of all time can be redeemed, then isn't that divine? So
see any other DC-related characters pop up?
Oh, you mean from other comic books and stuff? Just the ones who are in the comics. You know, Maze, Mazikeen, Amenadiel. Even though they look very different than they do in the comics. Lucifer looks very different than he does in the comics. He was based on David Bowie in the comics, so he's very, very fair, very blonde. But other than that, we might bring in some from Sandman. Yeah, might. We've talked about it. We'll see how DC feels about that. They're the bosses.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jamie, for you next.